It's noon here on September 12th, and it's a Monday, I do believe, at the worldwide headquarters of YAA. And this is news that you can use from YAA with your hosts, Zach and Ray. Zach, I have the sense that we've never been closer.
Sound check.
Yeah.
Check. Is the sound okay? Sound check.
Yeah.
Sound check. We got a new mic.
Yeah.
Right. It's right there. You can't see it. It's right off camera.
We got a boom.
We got a boom mic.
Boom mic.
All right, we're going to wait till we get just one comment. It's like, yeah, you guys are okay. And then we will get started, Dad.
And if we're not okay?
Yes. All clear. Thank you, Slippy, for being here. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Happy Monday, Dad. I am so glad you are back. I am ready to dig in to the latest and greatest data. We've got a car. Ooh. Justice says quest but clear. Quiet but clear?
I don't know. I don't know what quest but clear means. Yeah.
All right. We'll play around with sound after today's show. Dad, I want to start today off giving a car shortage update. Okay. We had an automotive news and article talking about how new car inventory levels have actually ticked up. Did you see that?
No.
Well, I'll pull it up here in just a second. First, though, I want to dive into a record because I would feel remiss not turning our attention to this first. I also didn't queue you up for this. You happy to be back?
Yeah. Yeah.
New vehicle.
Gotta love working with your son.
New vehicle prices increased for fifth straight month, set record again in August, according to Kelley Blue Book. The average price paid for a new vehicle in the U.S. in August topped July's record and kept the average transaction price solidly above the $48,000 mark. The newest data from KBB, Dad, saw the average transaction price hit a record $48,301, beating the previous record by about $220. We are up, Dad.
Yes.
Year over year, month over month, 0.5%, $222. Year over year, we are up nearly 11%, a $4,712 difference in price. And look at this chart, Dad. I wish I could get something. I mean, anything to go up that fast. I mean, it's incredible how quickly it's going up.
Yes. I'm being good. I am practicing restraint that I didn't know I had.
What's your take on this, Pops?
Well, we've been talking about it for months that the average car price is so high that it takes a large percentage of people out of the market. There is a huge gap between those who can afford to buy new vehicles and those who can't. And as long as the average transaction prices continue to skyrocket month after month, and I know it only went up $222 from July to August, but I don't know if it averages $200 a month over. That's another $2,400, and then that's a lot of money. And with rising interest rates, increased monthly payments, these cars are becoming less and less affordable for more and more people. And that's the part that scares me. And I know that the big push seems to be towards EVs in the future. And well, I don't know if they had the average transaction price of EVs in there. You didn't share that with me.
We'll get into it.
But I'm guessing it's probably in the $68,000 range. So, I mean, who's going to be buying these things?
Yeah, let's dig into more of the data, Pops. We can scroll on through it. And this also ties into the good news, which is there are now 1.2 million supposedly new cars in inventory. So a tick up.
Well, 100,000. Yeah. Let me know when we get to 2 million.
New vehicle inventory's day supply held steady in the mid to high 30s during the summer and is showing signs of increasing. In August, day supply was 43% higher than it was at the same time frame in 2021. Now, Dad, we are up to 1.2 million units of inventory in the U.S. for new vehicles. We are up from the 1.1 million last month. For comparison, sales in the first 8 months of 2019 averaged 1.4 million per month, and obviously sales have been below that. We've got that Hyundai, Land Rover, Honda, and Kia showing the most strength in terms of pricing, transacting between 5 and 9% over sticker last month.
Wow.
Ram, Volvo, Lincoln, Buick, and the smaller Italian brands Alfa Romeo and Fiat are showing the least price strength, selling 1% or more below MSRP. So bear that in mind. If you're
Yes.
going to a, I don't know, Ram dealer, a Volvo dealer, Lincoln dealer, do not pay sticker. Negotiate.
No, and if you're going to a Ram dealer, you very well could get as much as 10 to 12% below MSRP.
We've seen that in our community.
Yes.
Average price paid for a new non-luxury vehicle last month was $44,559.
You would just think for $44,559, you should be getting luxury.
That's
you
crazy.
should. I mean, that is crazy.
Car shoppers in the non-luxury segment paid on average $1,100 above sticker price, an increase from the prior month. Non-luxury shoppers paid nearly 2% above MSRP in August, compared to 1% above MSRP a year ago.
Do you? And I know
Truck
you
shoppers paid $142 below sticker in
Wow.
August.
You normally ask me questions, but I'm going to ask you a question. And now I forget what the question was that I was going to ask you, so it doesn't really matter. I literally, my brain today is apparently like the Arizona Cardinals defense. It's filled with holes.
It'll come back to you.
Yes, hopefully it does.
Luxury buyers paid an average of $65,935 for a new vehicle, up $878 month over month. Luxury car transaction prices had previously hit a record at $65,057, so we're up a bit more.
Yeah.
Continuing to pay over MSRP. Luxury
now I
vehicle
remember
share.
the question I was going to ask
Let's
you.
go.
The question I was going to ask you is, every one of these manufacturers can read this and they can see on average that people are paying 5 to 9% over MSRP, or it's 1,100. How soon do you think those manufacturers are going to say, let's just raise the MSRP?
They're already doing it, and they'll do it more.
Okay. And
we're never going to go back to 4 million new cars in inventory.
Well, I understand that.
And we're never going to go back to, I think, MSRPs just having mid-cycle refreshes. Like you've shared in the past when you worked for Acura and others, maybe the MSRP on a vehicle would go up $100, $200 during the model year.
Yes.
I think we're in a new environment, Dad, where especially as demand is fluctuating, you're going to get more Uber-like pricing. Oh, there's more demand for the Tacoma TRD Pro. Okay, increase the price. That's the future. That's definitely the future. They're looking at the monthly data just like we are. And they're going to make more money because of it.
That's what my fear is, that they're going to, that they see that the public is willing to pay it, that the dealers can ask extra, and because of shortages, that the public is willing to pay it. So at what point will the dealers or the manufacturers say, well, let's just keep our MSRP? They're not. They're going to go, let's raise the MSRP. The dealers have proven we can get more for them.
Oh, and
they can increase their spread.
We're going to get into incentive data here in just a second. Average price for an EV rose 1.7% compared to July, so we're still north of $66,000. It must be closing in on $67,000.
Yes.
This chart, Dad. Industry average transaction price versus industry average incentive spend as a percentage of advertised transaction price. Transaction price.
Wow. Look at that. I mean, not too long ago, the average incentive spend was about close to 11%. And today it's at 2.3%. Yeah, I guess there's no motivation for the manufacturers to go back to producing the same number of cars they had in the past. They're saving all that money in marketing and incentives.
Incentives decreased slightly in August versus July, contradictory to what TrueCar put out. TrueCar said incentives had actually increased in August versus July. So here you go. We're about to see. No one actually has accurate data. You kind of got to go with your gut a little bit here. Remaining historically low at only 2.3% of the average transaction price. A year ago, it was 5.5%. Like you said, a couple of years ago, would have been 11%.
Yeah.
We've got brands with higher inventory levels offering higher incentives in August. The Stellantis brands, for example, generally had higher than average inventory in August and also higher than average incentives, while still low from a historical perspective. Stellantis incentives in August averaged 4.4%.
Almost double what the industry average was.
So you want a car shortage update? Here's the deal. There's still a new car shortage.
Yes.
The used car negotiability that we're starting to see is simply a reaction to the decrease in consumer demand, not an increase in supply anywhere. And you're going to see, I think, a new normal. We're in the new normal. Remember, it was like a year ago, we probably saw the first headlines from big CEOs saying, well, we kind of like having less inventory.
Yes.
Like, yeah, we're here. We're here, folks. We're here. The train left, and it left us all at the station. Like, we are here.
Yeah, left all the cars parked at the station too.
Yeah, it really, really did. It's unfortunate to see that. It really is. Now, while that's happening,
yes,
we have some interesting news from Ford, and then we're going to jump over to the chat because I think this all ties in. This could be today's Really You Gotta Be Kidding Me segment, but we'll just jump straight into it. Ford wants its dealers to match Tesla's lower selling costs. CEO Jim Farley is meeting with dealers next week to urge them to cut as much as $2,000 from the cost of delivering an EV. We just looked at some data that says that EV prices are more expensive than the average transaction price of luxury cars.
Yes.
We know that new cars are not affordable for folks. We know that auto credit availability is declining. Gotta love Farley. He's ballsy, man. He's ballsy. Hey, we need to save money on EVs. What's your take on it?
Well, I read the article, and one of the areas where they think they can save some money is, just a straight build to order to build, and they won't keep any inventory at the dealerships. By doing that, they figure they can save $600 to $700 per vehicle. I take that to mean we're not shipping you cars, or when you get cars, there's not going to be any floor plan assistance associated with those cars or any marketing assistance associated with those cars that you used to get.
Yep.
Okay. So what Ford is looking to do is to squeeze the dealer's margin on the cars. Many years ago, somebody invented the internet. Information became available to people. So when there used to be, like in many cases, 12 to 15% margin built into a car. And what I mean by margin built into a car is it was 15% of the MSRP was based 15% higher than what the invoice cost was to the dealer.
Yep.
Those numbers started to become readily available because of the internet. So what has happened is the manufacturers have compressed the margin from invoice to MSRP, and they have given the dealers additional ways to make that money up. It's called under the line money, under the line incentives, floor plan assistance, marketing assistance, holdback. All that is under the line money that still gets to the dealers, somewhere between 10 and 15%. What Ford's trying to do is they're trying to say floor plan assistance, marketing assistance, holdback, not going to happen on these EVs. Okay. So the margin has been compressed, and it's about to be compressed more because they're going to take away or try to take away the under the line money that dealers count on to survive.
Is this not the evolution of the industry right before our eyes? We did a video last week, and I pulled up that chart from Automotive Ventures. Remember it? And it was a matrix. It was the 4 quadrants, and it was like likelihood of this happening.
Keanu Reeves was in it?
No. Likelihood of this thing happening and the significance it would have.
Mm-hmm.
And on there was the direct-to-consumer / agency model. We are starting to see, and Ford is the most aggressive by far of all the OEMs. They're flexing their muscle. They're the ones that supply you with the product. You guys want to go to court and fight about who's the dealer, who's the... I mean, we're seeing, I think, the evolution. This would be comparable to insurance companies working differently. Insurance, they hire agents, or they have agents that work for them. This would be akin to seeing an evolution in that industry, Dad. It's happening right before our eyes.
Yes.
And it's in part because some of the innovation that happened when you were talking about the internet coming along, we found ways to, still support the dealers. Now we're seeing the next layer of innovation, which is, we can save a lot of money, aka just make more money by making you less important, dealer.
I think Ford, Jim Farley is in the meeting sometime this week. I mean, they are going to try and squeeze their EV dealers. It's just that simple. They're going to say to those dealers, we're not going to give you the under the line money that you used to get. the spread from invoice to MSRP, instead of being 10%, maybe it'll be 7.5%. We need to figure out ways to take $2,000 out of the cost of delivering these vehicles, and we'd much rather see it come out of your pocket, Mr. Dealer, than come out of our pocket.
Well, you know whose pocket it's really going to come out of?
The consumer's
Yeah,
pocket.
of course.
Yeah, it always comes out of the consumer's pocket.
And there's enough people out there willing to pay, which is the unfortunate thing.
Yes, but I mean they're being upfront about it. But I just don't. As much as we hate dealers, and I'll sit here. I'm going to tell you, I don't hate dealers. I've represented dealers for a long time. I made some dealers very wealthy people. Okay, made them a lot of money. I don't hate dealers. I hate some dealers because of how they operate, but for the most part, I don't hate dealers. I mean, but you're not going to convince Ford dealers who have invested millions of dollars to put up these dealerships that Ford mandated had to be built in a certain way, had to have a certain look, and it probably cost $15 million to build a dealership today. You're not going to convince these dealers who've invested that type of money that they should be taking the brunt of this $2,000 lower cost for Ford. It's not going to. There's going to be hell to be paid, and I would imagine, and Igor would know it better than I would, but I would imagine that these dealers are going to fight Jim Farley tooth and nail. I mean, it's going to be like a WWE battle royale. Okay, this is going to be like a cage match, and everybody's going to come out of it bloodied and battered. Okay, and then they're going to look at each other and go, and they're going to say, "Okay, let's get the customers to pay." It's and I know part of what Ford's trying to do is to discourage their dealers from doing additional dealer markups and things like that. Well, if you're gonna squeeze their margins, they're not going to walk away from the additional dealer markups. If there's not enough vehicles and there's plenty of consumers, they're going to continue with the ADMs and everything else because they're not going to cut their profit margins. They're just not.
Maybe this is Ford's master plan, then. Maybe
what to piss off every one of their dealers?
Yeah. But hear me out.
Yeah.
To piss off every one of their dealers.
Yeah.
Do really incredible direct-to-consumer marketing.
Yeah.
To market their products incredibly well, and then build the products with such poor quality that they keep their dealers satisfied by all the service revenue they generate.
Oh, help me with this. Everything I've read and everything Justin has taught me is that EVs don't require as much maintenance. So where's the service revenue coming if they don't require?
It's going to be warranty work because they're all going to have quality.
They don't break. not nearly as many moving parts. Come on.
Ford's break.
Okay, I'll take your word.
Neil says take $2,000 off delivery and add $4,000 to the MSRP.
Well, I think what
That's
Ford's
be an argument for the dealers.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure what Ford's trying to do is they want to be able to offer lower pricing, and they can't. But they want the dealer to pay for that.
Yeah, no, they totally do.
Yeah.
We got a community member here with us. Son, I bought in February. I made mistakes. Now I'm upside down on a truck that is now showing me its real value, and I'm under $8,000.
Oh my gosh.
Son, sorry to read this out and hear what's going on. The reality is that this is unfortunately the situation for so many people. We will have a black book market update.
You know what tomorrow. The sad reality is? Is that a year from now, instead of only being upside down 8,000, you might be upside down 12. Because, when the market comes back to some sense of normalcy, and we have regular depreciation amounts like we normally had in the past, these poor people that paid way too much are suddenly going to be have like an anchor around them, with the values of their vehicles. It's just what dealers have done with all these addendums, all these additional markups, is they have effectively ruined their business. Not today, but 2 to 3 years from now.
Agreed.
When all these people that they buried with an extra $5,000 or $10,000 additional dealer markup, all those people that they buried that have now said after 3 years or 4 years, I'd like to get a new car, and they find out that they're $20,000 negative between the value of their vehicle and what they still owe.
What bank's going to roll that into a loan?
No bank is going to roll that into it, and that is going to slow down the market 2.5 to 3 years from now, simply because those people won't be able to get out, especially if you put them in 72-month or 84-month financing. In regular times, if you were in a 72-month note, typically you had to go 5 years, maybe 62, 63 months to be at a break-even point. Okay, and that was when you were buying the car below MSRP. So today, if you're buying the car at $10,000 over MSRP, you may never get to that break-even point when the loan's paid off.
No, I mean, you're never going to get to break even if you spent $10,000 over. Never.
I think they just saw easy money, and they didn't think 3 years down the line.
We've got here from Enterprise AR. I think Ray's estimates are off. On the vehicles I'm tracking, I think upside down could really be closer to $20,000.
Okay.
Yeah, I think unfortunately we really are going to be in a situation, Dad, where 2-3 years from now, it's so hard to process all the moving pieces. You're not going to have as much used car inventory because there is the new car shortage.
Yes.
You're not going to have off-lease vehicles because there's no vehicles being leased. You're going to have a ton of people who are super upside down.
That can't get out of a car if their life depended on it.
And so they're just going to keep driving that car.
Yes.
You're going to have more EVs in the market than ever before, but none of them are going to be affordable yet.
No.
It's weird.
Yeah.
I wish we could predict what was going to happen. Unfortunately, I got no clue.
I grew up in West Philadelphia. We had trolleys where I lived.
You might see a resurrection of trolleys. I do know one thing, Dad.
Yeah.
That today is the last day.
Yes.
The FTC is seeking comments on the Motor Vehicle Dealers Trade Regulation rulemaking matter number P204800.
Yeah.
Public comment period ends tonight at midnight. If you have not left,
I'm assuming that's midnight specific.
I think it.
Or would it be Hawaii time?
I don't. God, I think it's Eastern time. If you have not left your comment yet, please do.
Yeah.
Over 6,000 comments have been left. Let's take a quick peek. We'll sort it from newest to oldest. Fingers crossed the newest one is supporting the rules. When buying a car, it is always better to know the final price without mandatory or optional hidden figures in online or in the sticker. As a buyer, we know what we choose is best for our budget without spending so much time. Okay, so this seems for it.
Yeah.
We had seen an incredible influx of anonymous submissions, and it seems like maybe, we'll see. It seems like maybe we've drowned some of them out. Those anonymous submissions were coming by way of dealerships. We've got one here, Sanders Ford. I feel this new process is not going to be beneficial for the car dealership, but most importantly for our customers. It is going to take triple the amount of time to complete a simple task with the additional requested criteria. Everyone's time is valuable, but most important, our main goal is the customer, and adding time to the process is not convenient.
Yeah, well, if it's going to take you 3 times as long, it's only because you decided to move at the pace of a sloth.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No, these rules should not add a considerable amount of time. They should make it much simpler for everyone involved.
Yeah. But those are the NADA talking points. So, time. It's all going to be about time. It's going to take the customer as long. It's going to take us longer. We got to get 3 more forms signed. Actually, it was 2 more.
2 more forms.
Yeah. Just advertise the real price. Don't discriminate against people because they want to pay cash or they want to get outside financing. You're making plenty of money. And when dealerships weren't making plenty of money, it was you trained the customers at that point in time that you would save them money if they would take the car. As dealerships, that's what we did. We trained the customer. Okay, you come in between the manufacturer's incentive and the discount that we'll give you, we'll save you lots of money to buy this car. That's how the industry has worked. Well, for the 40 some years that I was in it. And so we trained the customer to think this way. Well, we can also train everybody to do it a different way. We could train the dealerships and the consumers that the advertised price is the advertised price.
Crazy concept. Truly a crazy
That's
concept.
the price. If you want to pay cash or get outside financing, that's okay. The price remains the same whether you finance through us or pay cash or finance through someone else. Before we sell you any products in the F&I office, we will thoroughly go over with you what each one of those products is and how much that product is costing you. And then we won't force you to buy products that have actually no value. What is so hard about that? If you're a legitimate business, why wouldn't you want to operate in that type of legitimate manner? It's just, and if, as the manufacturers have suggested, they're never going to build inventory levels up to what they had been, and you as a dealer are going to be able to continue to sell cars at MSRP, well, you're still going to be able to make a lot of money. I just don't get it.
Shall we?
Well,
Ready?
yeah, I won't be able to hear it. Oh, we can. Really? You gotta be kidding. Okay.
Not sure if that played through
Yeah.
on the stream, but we're doing really You Gotta Be Kidding Me, folks, because it's a perfect example and it comes by way of the community forum, Dad. I mean, this was posted just 2 hours ago from one of our community members.
Okay.
2022 Acura RDX A-Spec Advance. I asked for no add-ons and they still put it on here. Thoughts?
Selling price MSRP
We're off to a
$54,295.
hot start.
Yeah.
Government fees.
Okay. Yeah.
$1,100 doc fee.
Processing and doc fee. Yeah, that's
ProPack for 1,000.
uh-huh.
Triton Protect for 900.
Yeah.
Taxes. I mean, this is the type of stuff. And to be fair, let's be real. Supply and demand.
Yeah.
Acura inventory levels down. Honda struggling mightily.
Yeah.
But this is the type of stuff that builds a bad rap for dealers, and quite frankly, is what the FTC is trying to get out in front of.
Yes.
You would
Yes.
have to advertise a price. You couldn't just say call us. And if this is what you're trying to sell it for, just list it.
You would have to advertise the price.
Think about that for a second.
Yeah.
Think about that. Jose here. Jose, I think that's the gentleman's name. Yeah, Jose.
Yeah.
And Space has given him great coaching.
Yeah.
If they won't budge, thank them for their time and go to another dealer. It's the only way we can pressure these dealers to change their pricing policies. There are good dealers out there willing to make a fair deal on an RDX, even in this market. But think about this for a second. The argument from the dealership is that it takes too much time to introduce more paperwork, right?
Yeah.
Do you think Jose is spending more or less time getting more out-the-door price quotes or being dragged into a dealership because they won't even give him an out-the-door price quote until he comes in to do his price shopping, to compare price for the same product? Of course he's spending more time than it would take to fill out a few forms. If they all advertise their actual price, more power to that dealership. If they want to pack, with $1,000, $2,000 in product,
Just advertise it that way.
Freaking advertise it.
Yeah.
Come on, the argument that the forms take more time than Jose has to get.
And the argument that the dealers are just, we're being fair. Fair is you give the person the option of buying those packages, not forcing them to buy those packages, not saying to them, the only way we'll sell you this vehicle is if you buy these packages on top of everything else. That's where dealers get a bad reputation.
MPubs, James reminded us, and the payment packing.
Oh yeah.
Wait, let's pull it back up. I totally glanced over the payment packing. Let's pull this back up. Give me 1 second here. There it is.
Yeah.
The payment packing. You want to briefly explain for everyone playing along at home what's going on here?
Well, if you're quoting an exact percentage rate, an APR, and you're quoting an exact amount down and you have an exact amount that you would be financing, that would translate into, this is going to be hard to believe, an exact payment. Okay, the payment would be $1,104, let's say, not somewhere between 1,104 and 1,114. There isn't a $10 spread in the payment if you're basing it on an exact interest rate with an exact amount down based off an agreed upon selling price, so that your financing. And notice here they don't say what the rate is.
Yeah.
So their excuse is going to be, well, we don't know what his credit rating is. We don't know what the exact payment would be. That's why we're giving him a range. Okay, well, you wouldn't have to give him a range if, I don't know, you got a credit application, you found out what his credit is, you submit it to the bank, you see what he qualifies for, and then you say, okay, here, at this rate, this is what your payment's going to be, and there's not going to be a $10 spread in it.
Yeah, 100%. All right, Dad, let's remind everyone, and thank you for being here today. If we can assist you as you navigate buying a car, we are here to do that. Go to joinyaa.com, use the car search there. If you're going to sell a car, get all of the offers in one place. Auto, home, renters insurance. It took about a year, but we set up our insurance agency. So get the quotes from the major carriers through us. Extended warranty is all the same, still our $500 markup. More and more folks, Dad, are choosing for the electronics warranty as well, the one that covers all the self-driving stuff, the cameras, things like that. We have discounts if you purchase both. Finance and refinance this month, sometime this month, we're going to have our first credit union up. So please be sure to check that out. Now, last week on the Friday show, and we will continue to talk about this on the Ray and Zach channel, but not yet on the YAA channel. We're not ready. For Car Edge, when we relaunch as Car Edge with the Car Edge membership, I just got in touch with Spiffy. Okay, Dad? Spiffy, they do at-home
car washes.
I'm going to try and negotiate a members-only rate. Or
I need Spiffy. I need Spiffy.
So how great would that be if Car Edge members got I don't know. I haven't even talked to them, so you got to give me some time here. But you get a discount because you're a member. That is what we're working on, stuff like that. We also, I know I got a text. I just muted it. We also are working on Tire Rack, Rock Auto. We want to get everything. If you're a member, you should get discounts. So that's what we're working on behind the scenes. And if you become a YAA member, of course, that will grandfather you in when we switch over to Car Edge. So planting that seed.
Well, it's a good thing to know that I'm grandfathered in. But then again, and it's only because, well, you like me. It's not because I'm a grandfather.
Oh, you're not a grandfather yet, at least as far as I'm aware. Now, the other thing I'll mention is that we are piloting working with some auto brokers. So if you don't want us to coach you and you just want someone to do it, we are vetting auto brokers, trying to bring them in to the network as well. So email me, Zach, Z-A-C-H, at joinyaa.com. And if you want to work with an auto broker, we have some in some areas that we can connect you to. And again, we're just piloting it right now. They're paying us, to be clear. If you end up purchasing, they're paying us $50 to $100. The future is in Car Edge, we are going to do that as a discount. So if you're a member, you get that as a discount. But we are trying. We want to figure out if there's a broker model here that works.
We want to figure out if these people are trustworthy enough.
Exactly. Yeah.
All
right. Another show in the book.
I believe so.
How long is the extended warranty cover? Sorry, we're doing a bit of a demo now for a second because I am so proud of what we built. You can choose, and we finally got 2023 in here. So let's do that, actually. We'll do a 2023.
3 Mini. Do a Mini Clubman.
Your Mini's going to be expensive, man. I want to show something that's like, all right, Clubman.
Sorry.
We're here in Maryland.
We are. Cars registered in Maryland.
Fingers crossed, be a good. There you go.
Look at that.
So you can actually see, you can change the term that you want. Do not do one for 3 years. That doesn't make sense. Well, I broke something. I don't know what I just
What the hell did you break?
I don't know. But anyway, there you go. You can get quotes right there.
Let's get engineering on the phone.
Yeah. Anyway. Tyler says, I'm late. Could you repeat everything you just said in 1 minute? No, put it on 2x and just start it back at the beginning. Pops, let's go enjoy the rest of our afternoon. We've got set up behind us the dealership. We're going to be filming some role plays this afternoon.
Yes, we are. I have to study my lines, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks as always, Dad.
Thank you. We'll be back here again tomorrow at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific, with more news that you can use from YAA. So good to be with you, handsome.
Thanks, Pops.
Yep.